getting prepared for the lesson of information.
And so, did it take you a lot of time?
Yeah, it took me a lot of time to get prepared for that lesson.
And so I'm sure that your teacher was rather glad. So what about you? So how do you usually get your information? What sources do you usually use? So
I usually get the information from internet because it's easy to surf different websites and to pick up the necessary information.
So I see your point. So Lisa, continue right here,
I
please.
usually get information from other people because they help news travel fast.
So I think that the gossip usually does it. So what about
I
you?
usually get information from TV because my parents always watch TV and so do I.
So you make a company. So
I usually get information from internet and sometimes I can help my parents and grandparents to get information they need.
I see. So Martha?
I search for information in newspapers because my family always buy newspapers.
So I think that it's quite easy to find any information because there are a lot of sorts of information, I mean mass media, etc., etc. Very good. So now I'd like you to have a look please at the screen. Scan please and tell me, have you got any ideas what we're going to speak about today? So just maybe 1 minute for you to look through. First of all, I can get that you do understand that these are posts. And what do usually posts reveal? So,
maybe those posts always show the opinions of different people about some things that they are going to discuss.
And by the way, who usually writes these posts? What age group are the largest participants of such posts?
I suppose teenagers do it.
So, if you combine these ideas, so what we're going to discuss during today's lesson?
We're going to talk about different opinions of teenagers about mass media, maybe.
Let it be. Maybe so. We'll see if your guesses are right. And by the way, are you sure that these opinions will be positive?
No, I'm sure. I think that we will come across about all different ideas, both negative or positive, because as you see, the taste is different.
So quite right you are. And I think that the topic of mass media is quite interesting, and I think that it's a good idea to touch it upon once again. So first of all, let's refresh our knowledge. So if you get such a scheme, can you fill in the gaps and comment on it a little bit? So scan it, please. Any ideas? So who can start? You're welcome.
We all know that mass media is divided into electronic media and printed media. And electronic media consists of the internet, the television, and the radio.
And what about the printed media? Angelina, welcome.
Printed media includes magazines and newspapers.
So now we'll see if you are right. So it is really so. Now I think that we have learned a lot of different facts about both mass media in Belarus and Great Britain, and now I'd like you to share your most so-called maybe interesting or amusing facts about both British mass media and Belarusian mass media. So just maybe 1 or 2 facts. So if we can start. You're the front man of today's lesson, you're welcome.
So there are 500 television channels in Britain. They can be satellite, cable, or free. And the BBC also has 5 radio networks and also 39 local radio stations that broadcast all the kinds of media like sports, news, and other stuff.
So who can add? So, Martha, please.
The BBC has been providing us with regular TV broadcasts since 1936. British people listen to radio about 16 hours a week, and they watch TV about 25 hours a week. And British people, about 90% 96% of British people has one or two TV sets at their homes.
So any other facts? So yeah, please.
I know that there are 5 main channels in Britain. The 2 BBC channels is commercial free, while the 3 others are commercial.
That's okay. So who can continue? Any ideas? So Dasha, maybe you? Some facts, any facts that you want to share with the public? What about maybe newspapers or Belarusian printed media? So, please, you're welcome.
National newspapers in the UK were traditionally divided by format between serious, quality newspapers, broadsheets, or the sensational, popular, or red top tabloids. Several of the broadsheet newspapers now have changed to tabloid or Berliner formats.
So one moment, and do you remember what a Berliner format is? So who can refresh the ideas?
I mean,
So,
the Berliner format is very long and easy to open in public places, like in the bus stops or at public transport.
That's okay. So let's try you. So any other ideas? So much.
Broadsheet styles are the Daily Telegraph, the Times, the Sunday Times, the Guardian, and tabloids are the Daily Express, the Daily Mail, the Daily Sun, the Star, and others.
That's okay. So let's come to the Belarusian mass media. Any facts about the channels, about the electronic media, the target audience? So Dasha, you're welcome to continue.
Print media and electronic media of different forms of ownership is operating in Belarus. Foreign media are widely represented in national media space too, and as of the 1st of January in 2012, 678 newspapers and 676 magazines were published in Belarus. More than 2/3 of them are private.
That's nice, extremely nice. So Angela, continue your ideas, please.
Printed press is available mainly in Russian and Belarusian languages. So there are some newspapers in Belarus in English, German, Polish, and Ukrainian languages.
So Lisa?
The most influential newspapers in Belarus include Белгазета, Свободная газета, and etc. Then local editions of major Russian newspapers, Комсомольская правда and Аргументы и факты, are very popular in Belarus too.
That's okay. So let's come back to the different means of mass media. So which of them are the most popular in your opinion? And why? Maybe 1 or 2 reasons or arguments. So Lisa, welcome. So which ones are the most popular?
I think the internet is the most popular mass media because there are a lot of sites for businessmen, gardeners, engineers, for people who fond of music, cinema, theatre, and etc.
So who shares the same point? I suppose that everybody maybe everybody does. So that's what about you.
I agree with Lisa, and I also think that the internet is the most popular mass media because thanks to it, I have got an opportunity to access news, documents, images, and
So actually, whatever you like, you can do. So what other ideas?
Also thanks to the internet, you can send text electronic messages, and it is much easy and fast than to write letters.
So the group of the internet, Eric, so what other ideas? So do you share the same idea or do you have your own one?
I vote for television because it's then very interesting and positive and very impressive source of information. You can watch it every day. It is the same for this. It is easy to watch for the parents, the grandparents, and for us.
Actually, to the home, which is so it maybe brings in the world into your home. Yeah. So any other ideas?
I share this opinion with you, and I think that watching TV is more quickly than, for example, reading newspapers.
So, and what about the least popular? Maybe are some of them losing their popularity? So, which one is or are the most, the least popular?
The least popular, I think, is newspaper, because some, for example, some teenagers think that newspapers are biased. Newspapers are biased.
So,
I think that radio is old-fashioned. It is becoming less and less popular. But I don't think that it is lose its importance. Maybe it will change the form.
So, as you see, so many people, so many opinions. Now, I'd like you to listen to some other people's opinions, and while listening for the first time, I'd like you to answer the questions. What questions were asked? Did you get it?
Yes.
So I see. That's okay. So be careful, please, and try to make up a list of the questions which were asked during the interview.
Unit 8, Lesson 7, Exercise 3. Do you watch the news on TV or listen to it on the radio?
Yes, I sometimes watch the news on TV and listen to it on the radio. Yes, I do.
Mostly on television, not very often on the radio.
No, I don't. I don't like the news. Yes, I'm interested in the news, but I mostly watch it on TV.
What programs do you watch?
I watch gardening shows. I love gardening and shopping programs too. I watch other programs as well. Various, from chat shows to lifestyle programs.
All the programs I have time for. Chat shows, game shows, dramas, sitcoms, music programs, lifestyle programs, so all of them.
I like watching anything on TV. Soaps, music programs, chat shows, wildlife and animal programs, DIY programs, charity shows, you name it. I watch.
What programs do your parents watch?
The news and dramas. They are too busy to watch anything else. Dramas, soaps, sitcoms, and musicals.
My dad watches the news from morning till night. Mom has to watch the news with him too. She also watches dramas and soaps. They sometimes watch sitcoms together just to relax.
Dramas and sitcoms mostly. First the news, then soaps, sitcoms and dramas.
What are your favorite programs?
Music programs, animal and wildlife programs. I can't stand reality shows though. I don't understand.
Did you get any questions that were asked? So, what questions were asked? So, Lera, what did you hear?
I hear that the first question was, do you watch the news or listen to it on the radio?
That's okay, quite right you are. So, Liz, what about
What are
you?
your favorite programs?
Something like that. What else?
What
Dasha?
programs do your parents watch?
Angelina?
What programs do you watch?
What programs do you watch? Quite right you are. By the way, how many questions were asked?
5.
So, 5 questions. Do you agree? Yeah, actually, it was really so. Now, while listening for the second time, I'd like you to get as more detail as you can and to be ready to fill in. That's it. I think that
Unit 8,
you need some
Lesson
company.
7, Exercise 3.
That's why I'd like
Do
you
you watch the news on TV?
to work in pairs and to do this task together. Maybe 3 minutes will be enough.
Yes.
Yeah. Is it easy? Partially, yeah. That's okay. So, who thinks that he's done the task completely? So, Lera, you look so brave, maybe. That's okay. So, the task is on the screen, so it is in your books too. So, Lera, read out, please, and then we shall discuss. If you've got some other ideas, you may share them. So, Lera, you're welcome.
Most people in the group said that they sometimes watch the news on television, but rarely listen to it on the radio. Everyone in the group said that they watched various programs, from chat shows to lifestyle programs. A few people told the reporter that they watched gardening shows or shopping programs. All people in the group said that their parents mostly watched the news, sitcoms, dramas and soaps. Most of the interviewees said that their favorite programs were music programs and animals and wildlife programs. Some of the interviewed people told the reporter that they liked DIY and charity shows. Several students said that they couldn't stand reality shows. a small number of interviewees said that they preferred music programs to the soaps.
That's okay. I think that you've done it rather well. So, have you got any other ideas? Or do you agree with her? Yes, I can agree with her. Okay, so you deserve some sort of break. Now, I'll introduce you some video. We all know that sometimes mass media have a negative effect on the teenagers. But I hope while watching this video you will feel yourself as a star and this video will inspire you. So just enjoy. I think that it will be a good inspiration, especially for girls, yeah? So, as you see, mass media has got a positive effect too. So let's continue. By the way, we have found the opinions of the British teenagers, and they used only 5 questions. But do you think that these questions are enough to find the accurate data? Maybe some questions should be added. So I encourage you to think for about 2 minutes to do it in pairs and make a list at least of 3 questions that can be asked to find out their public opinion. That's okay?
Does the popularity of the medium depend on its quality?
Why not? So, that should be your question? So, let's listen to Marta.
Do you think that mass media has a negative influence on
So, let it be. I think that we are limited in time a little bit. I have prepared a list of questions for you too. And the task is not only to answer them. So now I'd like you to imagine yourself being some Britons. You have your special role. And you are given a list of questions. Mass media in your life. So the question is for you. That I can share them with the other guests. So some rules, I think that these rules, let it be so, just in random order. That's why. I prepared some role plays for our guests too. So, answer the questions, please. 5 minutes to put down the answer just in these papers. Okay? Everybody does it individually. So your role is given to you. Then your task will be to make a sort of a survey about your age group. So, you're welcome.
I would be better it would be if I were a pensioner.
I see. So, let's start. Bill, are you going to the speaker group? So, introduce yourself first of all. So, you're down with the card. So, who are you and what are you?
My name is Jeremy Gordon. I'm 10 years old. I'm a Londoner. I'm going to the Grooves Primary School.
Primary school, next to the
And my parents are busy people and have to spend a lot of time in the town.
So, some comments on your choice.
So, I like to watch TV, and I can easily live without the radio. I trust everything that is told in the internet.
Yes, we will trustworthy, yeah?
Of course, I watch TV, and I don't think radio is good enough for me. I don't want to read any newspapers. I just like to read comics.
Comics. So,
and the three types of programs are action films, music channels, and a lot of cartoons. So, and I'm not a TV addict because I like to play computer too.
I see. So, the adults, the women who are successful in life, so Marta, introduce yourself, please.
My name is Mrs. Jane Wenslawowicz. I'm 14 years old. I am owner of a large perfume enterprise in Gimnazia. I have lots of free time and I'm prepared to live everywhere.
So, comments, please.
Internet appealed to me most of all among mass media. I can easily live without radio. I don't trust mass media at all. I prefer to watch TV than to listen to radio. I don't think those newspapers are worthwhile.
So, thanks. So, and the pensioners, please, to experienced people in our group, so that just 3 or 4 comments, just be short, please, okay? So, in brief.
My name is Mrs. Betty Crow. I am 62 years old. My husband is a TV fan, but I enjoy reading brochures like gardening.
So, just 3 or 4 comments.
Also, I like more newspapers than TV or other media sources. Also, I trust newspapers. I can't call yourself TV edit. Call myself TV edit and
I see. So that's okay, you got some other hobbies. So what about getting Antonio, will you speak?
Well,
Can you introduce yourself?
in fact, it isn't very difficult just to imagine as if I were 18, because we work with you, and if I really were 18 these days, I would just think as my students in 10A, just as well as you are. And of course the internet would take the first place, and all the information connected with the internet and internet gadgets. But sometimes I would like just to feel as if I am 52. Well, when I come home and when I watch some news, I really watch TV. I like TV. If to speak about whether trust or not, there are some special programs you see, and in that programs there are special hosts and leaders whom I trust, who share my opinion as a coming pensioner. Well, and of course I like to watch serials, I like to watch some music shows, I like to watch news, and I'm not considered to be TV addict. I think everything just, if I have time then I do it, but mostly I don't have it, and sometimes don't watch even the news for some days. What concerns newspapers, the question is, are they worth buying? Well, in my opinion, they are not worth buying because we have many sources of information, but if you want to read something or to have it in your hands, then of course you may go and buy it. And if there is a picture of you, of your group and you yourself in the newspaper, then you watch and buy, then you go to the stalls and buy it. Of course it is so. Well, the internet, no, it hasn't become an inseparable part of my life, unfortunately, and it is very sincere. Well, and in 20 years, I think TV still will exist in a 20-year period, but of course some modern gadgets will just continue their living. Well, and of course today I'd like to say a few words, because I'm very happy today to present at the lesson of my former student and to see just the unity of the screen versions of your tasks, of your books, and of your abilities to speak. Thank you.
So thanks for your opinion. So let it be. So at home, I think it would be a good idea to make sort of a question for your relatives, friends. So I think that you will use these questions and you will interview your friends, your parents, and your grandparents, if it is possible. And then your task is to get ready with the survey of your results using exercise 2A as a model. Is it clear? Yes. I think that maybe this task will contain maybe 20 sentences, something like that. Okay, now let's come to some feedback. So, what are your impressions? How you feel now? What was easy? What was difficult? How to evaluate your job or your work at today's lesson? What was easy? Were you useful? Was it successful or not? So, it is welcome.
The information was really useful for us, and I'm sure I will share with my friends about this lesson.
So then, what about you? So I see. So Kirill was a good partner for you. That's why you liked. Actually, I think that you were useful too. So any other thoughts, ideas?
I enjoy being a successful woman and answer the questions.
Answer the questions. So that's what about you? What was it?
Difficult, but I liked.
I like it. I like to be this sort of a person. So, Amina, what about you?
Also enjoy to work in pairs.
To work in pairs. Actually, I feel quite nice. I'm happy that you succeeded in this lesson. Actually, you worked hard. You did your best, actually, and I'm not ashamed of your results, frankly speaking. And speaking about your marks, I think that my colleagues will agree that you all deserve 9s or even 10s. So, what ideas do you have? I think that everybody can get a 10 for today's lesson. So, I don't know why the bell isn't going on, but still. So we've got maybe 1 or 2 minutes. By the way, what are the subtopics would you like to touch upon in this very topic of mass media? What would you like to speak about? What would you like to share? What effects or what subtopics could be interesting for you? So the internet, of course, we will touch upon this very topic.
Some programs, some TV programs.
Some TV programs.
The history of the inventions of the papers and the other kinds of media.
And by the way, touching upon this very topic, so do you know the inventor of the radio?
Oh.
So yeah, Popov, the inventor of the radio. Let it be. And by the way, do you know when the first mobile phones appeared? So what decades were they? So think of it. Maybe you got it. Maybe you came across such information. So maybe what? Okay, let's give some something or something or something.
Maybe the 80s of 20th century.
Maybe, but still, it proves that we must learn this fact, and we'll have like a tip on this question. Let it be. And by the way, do you know that the inventor of the internet was a woman? Yeah, it was really so. Actually, that's okay. So, and speaking about our media figures, our Belarusian television and our Belarusian media space. So, who can you name? Who do you like? Just on the spot. So, do you know any names? No names. No names. So I think that you put cable television or something like that. Okay. And what TV shows do you like and do you enjoy? Not Belarusian ones, but maybe Russian or international ones. So what do you enjoy? The Intuition, why not? And who is the host of this program? Do you know the name of this man? Oh yeah. So just let's play a puzzle game. He's an actor, yeah. So continue your ideas. So yeah, he starred in a soap opera Happy Together. And by the way, Happy Together is a version of an American children. Yeah. How does he look like? So he's an actor. You are quite right. He starred in this soap opera. And how does he look like? He's tall. No. And what does he look like? What about his hair? So how do you imagine him?
Dark hair.
So he's dark-haired, blue-eyed. So he gives a vivid description of a very good-looking man.
Ideal.
Of her ideal. I see. Actually, by the way, do you know when the lesson is to finish? I suppose that it was at 12:50. No?
15:55. Maybe.
Are you sure? Not yet. Still, we are waiting for the bell. Okay. Speaking about different shows. So the bell has gone. That's okay. Actually, I think that the lesson started a little bit earlier. Or just late. I'm not so sure. So thanks for the lesson.
Yes.
So thanks for the work. Thanks for preparation. See you tomorrow. Bye. So you got a whole task, and I think you'll be ready for it. The next lesson. So take the questions with you because you will need them while you're interviewing. Yeah. So, well, thank you.